Good morning. You have tuned into TP3 Ministries presents. Grab your coffee, grab your word, get comfortable, stay tuned to be blessed.
All right. 3, 2, 1.
Good morning, good morning.
Yo.
6.3 FM.
What's happening?
And Facebook Live for those who are watching. This is Pastor Audris.
This is Millennial Pastor Doug Johnson. What's good in the place, in the streets?
We're the pastors of TP3 Ministry, which is True Purpose, True Power, True Praise Ministries. And we have fellowship study on Tuesdays. And we'll be starting back up January the 7th?
Yeah, let's just say
Yes, January the 7th at 7 p.m.
Facts.
Today, we're going to just talk today. We've in the Christmas season and the New Year's season, and so many things are happening. Folks are give Christmas presents and making New Year's resolutions and all that stuff, and getting their outfits together for New Year's Eve, whether it's going to church or going to party or going to both. My question and what we want to talk about today is why.
Why? That's a good question. I like that. Why?
The question is why. All month long, this is really interesting, and I do believe this is happening. People are looking forward to this New Year's Eve just to go out to get drunk.
Oh, yeah. I've already run into a couple people like, bro, I'm about to get messed up. I'm going to get tore up out here. I'm like, okay.
And you have those, getting their outfits together for, well, let's go back for me. Back in the day, for church, you dressed up. I mean, you had your outfit, man. This is the New Year's Eve swag right here. But nowadays we wear whatever, but it's still sharp, but we getting all that stuff together on Sunday, ready for Tuesday evening.
Mm-hmm.
And why?
It's a good question. What's the point? What is the purpose? What are you looking forward to? Like, I would really like to know why some people feel like out of all, because I think it's funny. You have folks that won't go to quote unquote a building called church all year long, but they'll go for Christmas and Easter, and they'll be there for watch night service and New Year's. And watch night service now ends earlier.
Mother's Day.
Oh, Mother's Day. You're
Father's
right.
Day.
Sometimes Father's Day.
Right. Right.
But they'll be in there for those specific days. And with New Year's, I just want to know, like, what is it that's so golden about those days? Do you feel like it makes you holy? It makes you feel like you're doing the right thing because you're in church. But you leave church and then you go right to the club and do opposite stuff.
See, we're into our motto, our theme is telling the truth about the truth. I don't have a problem. Yes, I am a pastor. I don't have a problem with people going to a party. And, people don't like to deal with this, but Jesus performed a miracle. It wasn't at a church service.
Nope.
He was hanging out at a party. And here's the thing about that. He developed something, he created something that in the long run people got drunk off of. Mm-hmm. But watch this. That was not his fault. It was not his fault. He turned water into wine. That was the drink of that particular day. What the people choose to do with it
is on them.
It's on them.
He was God. He already knew what was going to happen. So why'd he even put them people in a position to get messed up? Well, if that'd be the case, would that not be with every and anything in life?
That's why he gave us a free will. You cannot blame your choices and decisions on God, even though he already knows what you're going to do. You don't until you do it. But we don't want to deal with that. We want to blame when things that we choose to do, then we want to blame it on God, saying he already knew. Well, if that's the case, he already knows, then why wouldn't you do what would be right?
Facts.
Uh-oh.
So it looks like it's an easy way to blame shift and take the responsibility off of me. It ain't my fault. It's your fault. You
Why?
put me in this position.
Why? Here's the question. What is your motive for going to church on New Year's Eve?
Truly.
Seriously. What's your motive? Are you going because that's what everybody does? Are you going to really praise the Lord because he kept you another year?
Yep.
Or is it just, man, that's just tradition. That's what I've
That's what
always
we've
done.
I mean, it ain't right if we don't do it. Kind of like, like you said, with the holiday tradition stuff. The family always meets up on Christmas Eve at, 8 o'clock, already in our pajamas, so we can, go ahead and open up pre gifts for each other for Christmas Eve. That's our thing. That's our holiday tradition. We always, drink eggnog at this time. We always do X, Y, Z, and it's a family tradition. And you can even take it past the holidays. Whatever your family does or whatever you do, or anybody does, just for the sake of tradition. But I want to ask: does the tradition hold substance? Because a tradition, authentically, is truly placed in its place so that you can observe something that's important. So me going to watch night service or just going to church every Sunday, but I'm not changing. Why? Like Jesus said when it came to the Lord's Supper, he said, and when you do this in remembrance of me. Do this in remembrance of me. Don't just do it. Don't just do it every second, third Sunday just because that's tradition. We we take the body of our Lord and you break the bread and everything, and then you drink the drink, regardless if you drinking cranberry juice, alcohol, whatever. What's your purpose of doing it? Do you have a connection with what you're doing? Is it a footnote, a outward lifestyle testimony about what's going on the inside of you? Your life. What does this tradition say about your life? Does it say that you just have an appearance of such, or does it say, no, I got substance? What is it?
Your motive. This is what we need to think about. Just our lives, period. Why are we even existing? I mean, seriously.
Let's go there.
Why are we even existing? We go to work. We come home. We either go to the gym, somebody goes to the store, we come home, cook dinner for our kids, ourselves, our husband, our wife. And then we get up the next day, we do the same thing over and over again. And then on Wednesday or Tuesday, we go to Bible study or a choir rehearsal. And then Thursday, it's a Bible study or a choir rehearsal. Then Friday, if it's not church service, we go out to the clubs. And again, I like good jazz music. I'm a musician. I have to do some weddings and things like that. But what is the motive behind it? And understand that I'm not the type that just talks, but I question myself too. Like, what's my motive for going to New Year's Eve service? Seriously. And what'll happen if I don't? That's the thing. Am I going to go to hell? No. It has nothing to do with that.
It has nothing to strictly tradition. Here's the beautiful thing that you're witnessing, whether you have been following this broadcast for some time now or you're a new viewer, is just like Jesus was talking about in Matthew, I believe it's Matthew 7, the do not judge passage that everybody loves to quote when they don't want nobody looking into their lives and holding them accountable.
Mm.
He says that before you judge, he says basically with the measure that you judge, the way you judge, you'll be judged. So if you want to judge someone harshly, you'll be judged harshly. So he says before you judge or take out the speck that is a speck of sawdust that is in your neighbor's eye, take out the plank, remove the plank that's in your own eye, which basically means look at yourself first before you say something to somebody else. So we're right now in this broadcast speaking with you. We've already taken a look at ourselves. We would never say or tell you to do something that we wouldn't do ourselves. We're telling the truth about the truth, which means we're not exempt from the same things that we're telling you.
And watch this. If everybody was pulling the planks and stuff out of their own eyes, how much better could we see ourselves, first of all, and then everybody else. See, that's what gets me. We like to look at everybody else to draw attention away from ourselves.
Yep.
And I said that I wanted to be different. I wanted to be that person that people can look at and say, oh, okay, so that's how Christ acts. Oh, so that's how Christ talks. Oh, so that's how Christ, oh, okay, so this is how we're supposed to do it. My concern is that we always go looking in the Word, which we should, but we always go there for examples.
Yep.
Why? There's that question again.
Why?
Why?
What do you look like? A lot of people are like Pharisees. They have a lot of wealth and knowledge about the Bible, or maybe just life in general. And they're always quick to tell you what you should do. They always feel like they need to teach somebody else a lesson because their circle is so small, they feel superior. But that's not wisdom. If you can't take a look at your own self, if you can't take constructive criticism, you can't take any of those things, but yet you want to be quick to go correct somebody else about something, you really need to take a look at yourself. You really, really do.
I tell the members of TP3, every morning you should go and look in the mirror and see who you see. Because you should see Christ. Now, we're talking to believers. If the believers would stand up and be true believers, then we could start dealing with the non-believers. But reason why a lot of people are non-believers because they have no examples to look at.
None. Absolutely none. Imagine if all the apostles did was talk about Christ, but they didn't walk the lifestyle they kept preaching about. Would 3,000 people have gotten saved at the preaching of Peter on the day of Pentecost? Would the church have been added to daily?
And that's what we're going to get into. That's what we're getting ready to get into on our teachings. We're getting ready to get back to the basics. When the church was first established, we're going to hit Acts 1 and 2. I mean, we're going to really hit that because I believe that's where we've messed up as a whole. We've gotten away from when the church first was established.
Yes.
And we're going to go on those guidelines, not what man has brought into it. You know, we're going to go with what the Word says. We're going to tell you the truth about the truth. Oh. Two things that happen. You're going to either be drawn to the truth or you're going to go away from it. But the truth is what it is. It's the truth. What's your motive? Why do you go to church? Why do you say that you are a Christian? Do you ever ask yourself these questions? Do you look like a Christian? Do you act like one? Do you talk like one? Do you walk like one?
And let's not get so anally theological for those of you who are like, well, the word Christianity is not in the Bible, so da 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 da. No, okay, Christ-like then. So that holds you even more accountable.
More.
Christ-like. That's really what it's. It's two different words saying the exact same thing, the exact same presentation, the exact same thing. So why? Why are you a Christian? Do you even know what you believe in? Do you even know what it means to be Christ-like? Do you even know what Jesus was about? Because there's one thing I have really discovered. I've been finding out more and more, nobody has an issue with talking about the love of God, as long as the love of God doesn't make me uncomfortable. But they have an issue with Jesus' holiness. And real holiness is a part of true love, because holiness is a standard. You can't be out here just doing whatever you want to do and think you're going to be in cahoots with God. Not at all. Not at all. It does not work like that. So yeah, God is gracious. He's wonderful, and he'll still bless your life. But you only get so much. You only get so much. Because why would you continue to loan money out to somebody who only comes around when they want something? What about to check up on you, see how you're doing? Wouldn't you be quicker to loan, or matter of fact, not even loan, give in God's case? Because there's nothing you could ever do to pay him back. So in his case, it'd be giving you something, because he has an authentic relationship with you. It's not a bargain. It's not a deal-based contractual back and forth between you and him. Don't work that way. Not with the one true and only